Close your eyes and imagine Lucifer. What do you see? Most likely, you're picturing a majestic figure with horns, red skin, and a devilish grin, the classic image of evil. But what if I told you that this entire perception is a grand misconception stemming from a mistranslation and the vivid imaginations of poets? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and reveal Lucifer's true identity, and I promise, what you're about to learn will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about one of history's most iconic figures. For most of us, Lucifer is synonymous with the devil, the ruler of hell, and humanity's arch-nemesis. This image is deeply ingrained in our culture thanks to books, movies, and even cartoons. We've come to see him as the source of all evil and temptation. But this depiction didn't appear overnight. If we dig deeper into the most ancient texts, the picture becomes entirely different. To truly understand who Lucifer is, we need to journey back in time and uncover the words that changed everything. So let's start with the most important thing, the name. Lucifer. Sounds ominous, doesn't it? But that's just a trick of our perception, shaped over centuries. The word itself comes directly from Latin, and if we break it down, we get two simple roots. Lux, meaning light, and fere, to carry. This translates to light bringer or bearer of light. Originally, in ancient Rome, this beautiful word was used to describe the morning star. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about the planet Venus. It can be seen in the sky as the brightest point just before dawn. It's the first to appear like a herald of the dawn, literally bringing with it the light of a new day. That's why it was called the light bringer. It was a very poetic and positive image, a symbol of hope, awakening, and beauty. In Roman mythology, this name was associated with a deity, the son of Aurora, the goddess of dawn. Its Greek equivalent was Phosphorus. There was no hint of evil, fall, hell, or temptation whatsoever. It was simply the name of an astronomical phenomenon, beautiful and inspiring. In essence, calling Venus Lucifer was as normal as calling the sun the sun. So how did this beautiful name become synonymous with universal evil and the chief enemy of humanity? The answer lies in a single line from an ancient text, which was completely misinterpreted. How did this association with a fallen angel even come about? All the confusion stems from a single line in the book of Isaiah in the Bible. It's crucial to understand the context here. The prophet isn't describing some epic supernatural battle in the heavens. Instead, he's addressing a very earthly figure, the cruel and arrogant king of Babylon, who oppressed his people and genuinely believed himself a deity. Isaiah foretells a humiliating downfall for this king. To paint this picture as vividly as possible, he uses a powerful poetic metaphor. In the original Hebrew, the passage reads, "How you have fallen from heaven, O day star, son of dawn." The day star is another name for the morning star, Venus. The prophet is likening the arrogant king to the brightest star in the sky, seemingly eternal, yet now it plunges and shatters to the earth. It was a potent metaphor, highlighting that even the most formidable ruler is ultimately just a mortal. The real trouble began in the 4th century AD, when the Bible was translated into Latin. This translation, known as the Vulgate, became the definitive text for the entire Western Church for over 1,000 years. When the translator, St. Jerome, came across this specific line, he translated the Hebrew word for morning stars, with its precise Latin equivalent, Lucifer. He wasn't trying to name the devil. He was simply using the correct Latin term. However, over time, the original context referencing the Babylonian king faded from collective memory. As a result, people reading the line, "How you have fallen from heaven, Lucifer," began to interpret it not as a powerful metaphor, but as a literal account of an angel's downfall. An angel named Lucifer. One translation choice, and the seed of a new myth was firmly planted. And this is where it gets really interesting. A mistranslation was only half the story. On its own, it might have remained an obscure footnote for theologians. But then, the powerful force of art, or more specifically, literature, stepped in. It was writers and poets who took this vague notion of a fallen Lucifer and transformed him into the vivid, charismatic figure we recognise today. The first to truly paint Lucifer for a wider audience was the Italian poet Dante Alighieri in his Divine Comedy in the 14th century. He crafted the most detailed and terrifying depiction of hell in history, and at the very heart of this hell, in a frozen lake, he placed a colossal, three-faced Lucifer trapped in ice. This was not a biblical image, it was pure Dantean imagination. Yet his epic poem became so popular that for millions, this very image became the canonical representation of the devil. Several centuries later, in the 17th century, the English poet John Milton took the next step in his epic poem, Paradise Lost. If Dante gave Lucifer a body, Milton gave him a soul and a character. His Lucifer is a tragic hero, a beautiful, proud archangel who rebelled against God not out of pure malice, but from pride and a yearning for freedom. It was Milton who gave him the famous line, "Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven." This portrayal proved so captivating and complex that it cemented Lucifer's status as a charismatic anti-hero and history's ultimate rebel. Thus, our modern Lucifer is less a biblical figure and more a literary character, born from the genius of Dante and Milton. Here's the crucial twist. The Lucifer character we've come to know isn't the biblical figure in his original form. He's the product of centuries of translations, interpretations, and, most importantly, artistic embellishment. The name meaning light-bringer, which in the Bible was originally a metaphor for the arrogance of an earthly king, was ripped from its context. It was mistakenly appropriated as a proper name for a fallen angel. Then, literary giants like Dante and Milton gave him a distinct personality, a compelling history, and that undeniable dark charisma. In essence, the popular image of Lucifer is one of history's most successful literary creations, one that eventually became accepted as a genuine religious figure. His story is a prime example of how a single word, a lone metaphor, can completely shift its meaning and spawn an entirely new myth that endures for millennia. So the true face of Lucifer isn't actually the devil's. It's the product of a linguistic misunderstanding and a rich cultural heritage that transformed the image of the morning star into the ultimate symbol of evil. Thank you for watching till the very end. If you found this insightful and it reshaped your understanding of Lucifer, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more eye-opening content. What other historical figures or concepts do you think we widely misunderstand today? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to read them.